Okay, so I'm going to show you how I designed this Facebook post using Canva. So I thought about my customer, so the particular thing that I'm selling here is the workshops, and I thought about my customer and their worries and concerns around attending a workshop, maybe anxious about what it's going to be like, and in general the workshop itself, and being on Zoom, it can be quite nerve-wracking. So what I did was I looked at a Google review that I'd had from a previous workshop attendee. So this one here I felt spoke to my customers' worries and concerns, because I picked out some good lines about feeling involved in the workshop, feeling motivated, and then feeling much less anxious about future workshops. So I thought this was a good one. Now I don't want it to be too wordy, so I just picked out the important text from this quote. So this is the bit that I use. So I copy this, then I go into Canva. So don't feel like you need to pay for the $10.99 Canva, because the free one is just as good. So this is the free one. And then what I'm going to do is go to the top right, click create a design, and I'm going to start typing Facebook, and I'm looking for a Facebook post. Now the reason that I do this is because Canva knows the sizes that Facebook want. So always use Canva's sizes, Canva's templates. So over here, talking about templates, you can see we've got some templates set up. Now you can do them from scratch, but I would always recommend using a template because it's much easier to get you started. So I typed in there testimonial, because that's the type of post that I'm trying to do. So I typed in testimonial, and then here's some results come up. So I scrolled down and I tried to look at one that I thought would work well for us. And I quite like the layout of this one. So if I click on there, you can see it populates on the right hand side. Now I'm just going to zoom in using this button along the bottom. So I do want to make quite a few changes to this. So what I started off doing was I highlighted this text, I selected it all, and then I pasted the text from the quote. Now you can see it's overlapping a little bit there, so I'm just going to move it, and I'm going to take some of this text and I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to paste that into there. So it just breaks up and makes it a little bit easier to read. So I'm going to put that back there. So I'm just clicking and dragging. So I'm just going to make a few amends here, make that a capital I, and then the same again here. So then the person's name, now I know that this person wants to remain anonymous, so what I'm going to do here is just put their initials. So I've got that there, and then the picture. So I don't really like that picture, because it doesn't really look like what I want. Is a picture where it looks like someone's attending a workshop. So I'm going to go over here on the left to photos, and then I'm going to type in on laptop, so a person on their laptop, and then you get some results. So statistically, there's done lots of scientific experiments about what imagery appeals to people, and imagery where you can see a person works much better than an image, say like that one with just the laptop. Even better still, a person looking directly at the camera has a higher success rate. So have a little scroll through here and see if you can find an image that you like that works for you. And I used this one here. I thought it looked good. It was someone on their laptop, but also a bit informal as well. So I quite like that. So I'm going to click on this shape and delete, because I don't want that shape. And I'm going to get that image, and I'm going to put it into the position. Now I want it to fill that gap there as well. So I'm going to click and drag, and then it meets that blue border, and then that's looking quite good there. Now I also want our logo on there. So if you go to uploads, then upload media, device, and then find your logo and upload it from there. Now I've already uploaded our logo, so I'm just going to scroll down here to find it. So there it is, and then you can see I've clicked on it once and it populates it in there. Now it looks a little bit big, so I'm just going to make it a bit smaller, and I'm going to move it up to the top there. Now then, I've got that white background on the logo, which is standing out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to click on this grey area. I'm going to go up here, background colour, click on there, and it's going to suggest some colours for us. So I just want that to be white. So can you see I clicked on there and it automatically changed that background to white. So now the logo looks really good in there. Now also the colour scheme now is not within our brand colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on those speech marks. I'm going to go back up here to the colour, click on that. Now if you scroll down, it's chosen some imagery that's within the design and given me the exact colours. So I'm going to use, so there's the logo, I'm going to use the red. So did you see that there? It's immediately changed and it's the exact red that's in the logo. So again, this text, it's not brand colour. So I'm going to highlight all of the text and go up to here. So text colour, if you look for the A with the blue, the coloured line underneath, click on there. Same again, it's suggesting colours from the imagery used within the design itself. So I'm going to use the red again. So you can see there it's changed that. And I'm going to do the same for this line. And I'm going to stick with the red. And I'm going to do the same for the initials. And I'm going to stick with the red. Excellent. So then what I would probably do is play around with the size. So this font, I would like to make it much bigger. So I've clicked and selected that box. And then up at the top here, I'm going to plus, and can you see the text increasing in size? And I'm probably going to do the same there, just to make it a bit easier to read. And I'll move this down, and that just spaces it out nice. And then when I'm moving them, can you see those little red lines? They're guides to help us. So the up and down guide is telling me that I'm in line with those speech marks, and the horizontal line is telling me that I'm in line with this little element here. Oops. Now see, I moved that by accident. So now I'm just going to press Control and Z, which is a shortcut for undo. So that's undone it and moved it back to where it was originally. Now this here, none of that is relevant to me. So I'm going to highlight all of that and just press delete, and the same there and press delete. Now then that blue line, again, not on brand colour. So I'm going to click up here, scroll down to our logo, and I'm going to use the yellow this time. So there we go, it's looking much more on brand. Now I would like some text in this box here. So what I'm going to do is over to the left here, I'm going to select text. And I'm going to add a subheading. That's just the size, and you can change the size once you've finished. So I'm going to move it down here. And again, see the guides. So now I know up and vertically I'm in the middle, and horizontally I'm in the middle. Now I'm just going to over type within that box. Oh, did you say enterprise agency? And I'm going to break it up and put free workshops. So then I'm also going to highlight all of that text, go up to colour. I'm going to make that white, and I'm also going to make it bold, so that stands out quite well. Now it overlaps a little bit there, so what I'm going to do is just make the font ever so slightly smaller. There we go. So that's looking pretty good there. So we've got the brand colours, we've got a nice quote, we've got a nice eye-catching image. I'm going to select all. Is it going to let me select more than one? Yeah, I'm going to select all of these elements. Whoops. And just, so now they're all selected. I want to use the arrows on my keyboard to just move it all down a little bit, just to space it out a little bit more. And I think that looks much better. So now I'm quite happy with this. So up here, can you see this arrow? I'm going to click on this, and it's going to download it. It says PNG, so leave it as a PNG. Click download. It'll download, then you're going to save it to your computer, and you're ready to use that for marketing purposes.